Good day, dear parents and students, and I am very grateful to school for giving me this opportunity to brief you all on vector-borne diseases. The diseases which I'll be talking about today is malaria, dengue, filaria, Japanese encephalitis, chikungunya, and kala azar. Now, most of these names you must have already heard. I will not go into more details of their presentation because this lecture will cross the limit of the 10 minutes. Okay, so most of these diseases are transmitted by mosquitoes, and only one disease, that is Japanese encephalitis, as of now can be prevented by vaccines, and all these diseases including the Japanese encephalitis can very well be controlled by preventive measures. What is vector? Vector is basically a live organism like this mosquito which transmits a disease agent, that is either a bacteria, virus or protozoa, from one person to another person or from one animal to another animal. Now, all these diseases wherein the mosquito is involved, the main way of transmission is the mosquito-human transmission. Now, what it means is that there is no human-to-human transmission. If I get infected, I will not transmit it to another person, especially my caretaker or my people in the house, okay? But if the mosquito is involved between me and the other person, yes, it can be transmitted. The cycle goes like this. The infected mosquito bites a human, infects the human, that is basically it infects the blood of the human, the liver, the spleen, the blood and the bone marrow, all these get infected, okay? And the infected person develops symptoms in few days. Now consider another mosquito bites this human who is infected. The mosquito picks up this blood, the organism in the blood which the mosquito has taken grows in the body of the mosquito now and concentrates in the saliva of the mosquito. So this infected mosquito now, when goes and bites another human who is normal, will transmit this virus or protozoa or bacteria to the other person. This is how the cycle goes in almost all these diseases that we are considering. I wouldn't go more into details of the presentation because most of this will present with fever, vomiting, the loss of consciousness, maybe bleeding, like depending upon what type of disease it is. Kala azar is something which will present with intermittent fever, vomiting and a huge bloating of the abdomen or huge distension of the abdomen because of increase in the liver size and spleen size. Plus, as the name goes, kala azar, the person starts looking grayish, okay? That's why it is called kala azar. Kala azar, which is transmitted by sand fly. Now, kala azar won't be known very well in this area where we stay because it is very common in the northern sides like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, okay? Not in a place where we stay. Diseases such as malaria are having its own standard line of treatment, but all others are basically symptomatic treatments. See that you give paracetamol, control the fever and hydrate the person. That is, keep the person hydrated by giving a lot of water, fluids like tender coconut water, rice water, dal water, any type of fluid which is healthy fluid to the person or to the baby, plus rest to the person. There are dangers in certain diseases like malaria, dengue and Japanese encephalitis which can be life-threatening, but diseases such as filaria and chikungunya are more of deformities which are left after the disease. So it is not life-threatening, but the deformities are really hurting. Like in filaria, you must have seen the people with big elephant-like legs and hands, and in case of chikungunya, they remain with these small joint pains which are really painful and person cannot do their normal daily activities. So that is the problem here. Now let's straight jump into the preventive measures. The preventive measures can be of three types, okay? That is, stop the breeding of the mosquito, the causative agent, okay? Second is try to kill that mosquito and kill the larva which is responsible for this disease. And third is personal protection. Now all three are what is very important in this lecture. First is eradicate the places where these mosquitoes can breed. Now most of these mosquitoes, as you know, malaria is transmitted by female Anopheles mosquito, other diseases are transmitted by Aedes aegypti, then Culex mosquitoes. So all these mosquitoes breed in water, either dirty water or clean water. Like malaria mosquito, they breed in dirty water, brackish water, stagnated water such as stagnated wells, stagnated drains, then even in the potholes where water is stagnated, or even the coconut shells, the tins which are abandoned and they are with the mouth upwards, so their water fills during the monsoon, or any drum which is left open, tires which are left open. So many things, anything that can collect water can breed mosquitoes in them. So we have to basically see that all these things are eradicated. So see that your drums are upside down, see that the tires are disposed properly, the tins or shells, if you find them up with their face upwards, see that you just turn them downwards so that they don't fill with the water. And try to see all these things in and around your area where you stay. So everyone starts cleaning their area, their garden, their area around their house. Definitely the whole world will be clean this way. Clean the blocked drains, then the coolers that you have, clean the water at least once in 7 days. A flower pot or a vase which is there in your house, clean that water every 7 days. Olden time fridge, now I don't think so anyone has them, but the olden time fridge used to have a tray under the fridge wherein the water would accumulate. So if you have some fridge of that sort, see that that water is also cleaned every 7 days. In your garden, if the water from the bathroom or from the kitchen drain is going out in your garden, see that the area where this water is stagnating changes every 7 days, or see that the water doesn't stagnate over there. Keep your overhead water tanks tightly closed, so that no mosquito can enter inside, because even that small pipe hole which they have, if the mosquito can enter in from there, he will nicely breed inside or she will nicely breed inside, okay, and you won't even know. So see that your water head tank, the pipe is also closed with a net so that the mosquito cannot enter there, and that the lid is tightly closed. If there are any ditches in and around your house or in your garden, see that you are closing those ditches with mud fill. Coming to second, that is killing the larva and the mosquito itself. So first, see that there are no water stagnated, because the mosquito will breed in this and the larva will be in that. There are these small fish which are available called Gambusia and Lebister, which eat the larva of this mosquito in the water bodies. Also, you can have a layer of oil sprayed over the water body so that the larva cannot survive, because they require oxygen which they will not get if there is oil on the water body. Third is, please do not turn away those spray people, the people who come from the health services to spray your surroundings, because we have seen people who will totally disagree to spraying because it smells. These sprays contain certain chemicals such as DDT, malathion and pyrethrum, which cause the larval death or the mosquito death. Also, in your house, don't forget to spray areas like behind the calendar, under the sofa, under the beds, then in the corners, behind the curtains, all these areas which are usually forgotten areas, so mosquito can breed there. Okay, you must have seen this one advertised, I don't know which spray, okay, they say कोने में अगर spray करना है तो मैं ज़्यादा पैसा लूँगी. So that is because then कोने में there are all dengue, chikungunya and all those type of mosquitoes. In your house, you should have an insecticidal spray at least once in a week. Coming to last, the personal protective gears, okay, that is first and foremost, see that you're fully clothed, especially in the evening time, because evening time is the time when the mosquitoes of malaria are biting you. In the daytime, the dengue mosquito is biting you. So there is no time in the day when the mosquito will not bite you. The mosquitoes are also very intelligent. They have also split their duties. The morning will be dengue, the night will be malaria, and chikungunya and Japanese encephalitis all will follow their own timings. So anyways, a mosquito which bites you may produce some or the other symptoms of these diseases, so it's better that you protect yourself with full clothing, or else use creams, use coils, then the mats or the liquid mosquito killers or mosquito repellents. Plus you can use the net on your bed, and if you are someone who doesn't like net in the bed, like I don't like net in my house in the bed, but what we have done is we have covered each and every area which is open, like the windows, the doors, even the pipes, with small pipes which go in and out of the house are covered with a net, which are potential areas from where the mosquito can come in. So when I say cover the door with the net, the thing is you can make two doors. So one is a wooden door and one is a net door, okay, or the metal door with the nets. So throughout the day the net door will be closed and the wooden door can be left open, so that there is nicely aeration also which goes on, okay. It is very important that you close the door soon, so that the mosquitoes don't come in. okay, and you at the same time you don't have to be closed house all the time. Okay, so nets are very important. See that the net fitting is proper so that the mosquitoes don't sneak into it. I have personally seen that mosquitoes have become so smart that even if there is a small hole in this net, they will nicely sit in and around the hole and try to sneak in through the hole and come inside your house. So mosquitoes are also becoming smarter the way we are becoming smarter. They find their ways of survival. So see that your maintenance of the mosquito nets is, that is the nets, the physical net what you put on your doors, windows, are also properly taken care of, so there is no hole, no tears, no misfitting of these nets. Vector-borne diseases are very well preventable. The Japanese encephalitis is prevented by vaccine, so please see to it that all your children and adults also are vaccinated against Japanese encephalitis. In Goa, government has started vaccination since last 3 to 5 years against Japanese encephalitis. So those babies who are born before that, see to it that your baby has been given Japanese encephalitis. If not, please speak to your pediatrician and get the Japanese encephalitis vaccine done. It's a 2-dose schedule. Finally, there is no point in blaming the government for not keeping the cleanliness, because the mosquito is not going to see which government is in rule. It's just going to bite you and me. Okay, so it's your, mine and our responsibility to see that the surrounding around us is clean and that the mosquitoes are not breeding around us, so that we can save ourselves from the vector-borne diseases. I hope I have made this point clear regarding the vector-borne diseases, that it is the cleanliness which is going to save us. It is our discipline that is going to save us. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope even at least 1% of you follows my advice. The world will be a better place. Thank you. Namaskar.